Welcome to the Town Hall meeting. My name is Dr. David Fears and I will be your host. America is shouting. Our country is crying out. When will it stop? Where are the solutions? What can we do? The solutions that we're talking about are to the school shootings that have been running rampant. Everybody has different recommendations about what they feel would be the solution, but do any of these work? Are they practical? Can they be sustained? These and many more questions are going to be answered today. We're really blessed to have with us an expert in the field, and his name is Warren Pullen. Warren, welcome.
Nice to meet you, Dr. Fears.
Thank you very much. Warren is a high-threat protective specialist. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Can you tell us exactly what that is and what it is that you do?
Okay, a high-threat protective specialist basically works in and around the Middle East or any other area that the U.S. State Department or the Department of Defense will consider high threat. In that capacity, you work on personal protection details. You also do what are called tactical site surveys. And basically what that is you go out and you help design buildings, or you look at locations where VIPs, government officials are going to travel, and you basically take all the danger out of that location for them. Another level of the job is that you will also help design buildings where they live, buildings where they work, and buildings where they travel, basically to protect them from small arms fire, gunshots, bomb blasts, the IED, or the vehicle being able to drive directly up to where they live, work, or recreate.
Warren, this is very impressive. As I said earlier, there are a lot of recommendations in how to stop school shootings, but we have some questions from the audience that possibly you could address, whether these recommendations make sense or, whether they're even doable. Would that be all right?
Yes.
Warren, we're going to put these questions up on the screen, and then I'll read each question to you one at a time. First question. There's a lot of talk in the media about better gun control and background checks for people who are buying guns. Can you comment on that solution?
I think the conversation regarding background checks and more gun control and better gun control legislation is always a good thing. But my main concern is, what do you do about the over 300 million guns currently in circulation, with a large number of those on the black market? In addition to the gun legislation, we also need a way to have an immediate way to stop the shooter from entering into the classroom. That's where the majority of the mayhem is occurring, and that should be the focus of not only legislation, but other security solutions.
Question number 2. What about more security guards at the schools?
I think security guards are a great addition to whatever school security programs the campus already has. Security guards are always there to observe and report what they see. And just by them being in the place where maybe the active shooter enters the campus, it may allow kids time to actually get into the classroom behind some type of protective barrier.
Question number 3. I saw where they are considering arming the teachers with guns.
My opinion on arming teachers with guns, I don't think that it's a bad idea overall. However, you would have to ensure that the person to be armed on the campus is receiving their local police or sheriff's department training, that they're proficient with the weapon before they're allowed to take it into the classroom, and that the teacher wants to carry the weapon. It's going to require extensive training to really get that person to the point where they can carry the weapon with some certainty. However, you're still going to have some type of layer in between the active shooter and the student. The teacher is just one piece of the puzzle.
Question number 4. Warren, what about extra security cameras? Will this help solve the problem?
I always believe that extra layers of security and preventative measures are good. Cameras, scanners, body wands are always a good thing. They will help fill in the gaps where the campus security police or the local security guard is not. However, as the overall solution to solve the problem of the active shooter on campus entering into a classroom, alone it can't do it by itself. As an additional measure, it's a great idea.
And the final question, the idea of mental health legislation has been in the news a lot. Can you tell us how that could help?
Well, mental health legislation is not a bad thing. I do believe that the adults and young teens who are having mental problems and who may want to go out and use a weapon to create violence should have access to some type of help. However, as a solution to the immediate problem of an active shooter getting on campus and entering into a classroom, it's going to have very little effect. I would say in the overall scheme of things that everyone is trying to do in order to help with the school security solution, it's a good thing, but it's not the immediate solution.
Warren, thank you very much for answering those recommendation questions. My question is, what do you recommend as a solution?
My recommendations are very simple. Every school campus in America is going to have to go through a complete physical threat assessment review. Find out where the danger areas are and how shooters can enter their campus. The second thing they need to do is turn every classroom into a safe room. The quickest way to do that is to provide ballistic protection at the door, something that stops the round and takes that off the table.
Now these rounds, why are there so many rounds in this door?
Well, this is a shotgun pattern
Okay.
that you can see here, and this is a .44 Magnum that was fired at the door.
So they were fired at the door. Did they go through the door?
No, they did not. You can clearly see that.
Wow.
There's
Yeah,
no
I do see
exit.
that.
And these type of doors will also keep the shooter from getting inside the classroom. He can fire multiple rounds at the door. It's not going to be able to breach the door. That way it keeps the children inside the classroom safe.
So he can't shoot into the door, but can he just open the door?
No. It's a locking system built in place. He's going to fire probably multiple rounds at the door, but it's not going to breach the door. It's not going to open the door, and the shooter's not going to be able to break down the door.
So how does the locking system work?
I'll demonstrate it for you.
Okay, absolutely.
Now what we have here is a really, really effective way for the teacher to become the immediate first responder without having to walk across the classroom to secure the door.
Really?
From a distance, the teacher can simply take key control, press the button,
Oh, I heard that sound. Yeah.
and it locks the door.
Really?
So now, if you attempt to turn the door from the outside, it's disengaged, can't be opened.
Warren, I want to thank you for being here today. You have really demonstrated a recommendation that actually will work. I really appreciate that. I want to thank all of you who came out today and spent the time to ask the questions, and I hope you learned a lot. And tell somebody at your school board or whomever, all about this product, and let's do something now.